Alright, this is like the third take of my first video that we're gonna make. This is about the Cone family adventures and how we came to bring our boat to the Green Cove Springs Marina. We had to truck our boat to the Green Cove Springs Marina because we ran aground coming into the channel north of Savannah. After 3 weeks at sea, we went and picked the boat up in Massachusetts. It was our first sailing adventure as a family. I went to the week-long sailing class. My wife had a sailboat whenever she was in California and sailed a few times in the bays. And 10 years later, she forgot everything. I went and took the sailing class. All the experience I got is 1 week in a sailing class with a captain. So when we picked up the boat, all 4 kids, my sister-in-law Ashley, who's the bomb, and our dog Marley. And we set sail. We sailed down through New York, up the East River, anchored next to the Statue of Liberty, which was awesome. First time kids saw the Statue of Liberty, they're like staring up her skirt. I was like, y'all quit looking up that lady's skirt. And they were like, what? What are you talking about, Dad? It's a statue. I was like, whatever. You have no idea how important that statue is to this country. They're 6, 9, 10 years old. They will one day. And then we hopped down to Staten Island, see Papa J. And me and Papa J had to fix the mainsail because whenever the first night out, I handed the boat over to my lovely wife and my sister-in-law, and they were like out there doing circles, and I don't know what they were doing, but they ended up ripping the foot out of the mainsail, and so we head sail and motor all the way to Long Island Sound where it comes into the East River. And when we got to Staten Island, me and Papa J reinforced and resewed and reattached the foot of the sail so that we could use the mainsail again, which was pretty cool. And then we hopped down to Norfolk, so it was like 3 days. 3 days we were out at sea. Some fog and rough weathers and some good northern ocean seas, North Atlantic seas on the eastern coast in November, October. And it was October still at the time. Halloween hadn't come yet. And then we were headed down, and then we went down through the ICW through a hurricane on the inside of Cape Hatteras, which I'm glad we went on the inside of Cape Hatteras because a hurricane come flying through. I couldn't imagine what it was like out there in the ocean, like the graveyard of the Atlantic. And we made it through there. We dinged the bridge, ding, 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 with our antenna. Made it into a pretty cool marina right there at the end of Alligator Alley. It's a really nice marina. Really, really good people there. And then we made it down through and out Beaufort, and then went down across North Carolina, South Carolina, with the warships out there doing maneuvers, saying keep your distance, and that was pretty cool. And then we hopped into marinas on the way, and we were just going into a marina. We'd stop, and then we'd go down for a day out offshore, and come in for a day, and then it was like 3 weeks into the journey, and we were coming into Savannah, and that would have been our last day before we made it to Jacksonville, where our home port is, right there in Jacksonville. And we ran aground. I was cutting into the channel, and Navionics said it was deep enough, but it wasn't. We ran aground. We hit the sandbar, and then the seas picked us up and kept slamming us on the sandbar until it finally picked us up over the sandbar, at which time the rudder got snapped off clean when the boat teeter-tottered back onto it, and then we hit the channel, and then the boat was like sitting there spinning around, and like Coast Guard's like, can you drop an anchor? And I'm like, so we dropped an anchor, and I hadn't put my boat in neutral yet, so it was spinning around because the boat was in gear. Duh. And we cut that anchor, and then I got the backup anchor, put the boat in neutral, killed the motor, dropped the backup anchor, and Sea Tow came out there and got us. And it took them about 3 hours to get pulls about 3 miles up the channel into the closest marina. And then Boat US sent 3 boats to hip tie, stern tie, and a bow guide, and maneuvers down through the ICW, through broken drawbridges, half open drawbridges. There's all kinds of. The ICW is not like some highway of heaven for boats. It's a pain in the butt if you don't have a boat with a small mast and is very maneuverable. But they got us to the marina, and the marina pulled us out, and we ended up having all the inspection surveys done, and the mast removed, the keel removed, so that repairs of the boat could go underway. And we didn't really like the way that Marina had done the work that we had it do. They ripped off the keel, literally like ripped off the keel, and a lot of secondary damage. And so kind of like that fear of what the end repair is going to be and whether or not we could trust it. So we started talking about, like, we need to come repair our boat ourselves. They didn't want to let us do that. They were not okay with us coming up there and working our boat or hiring our own contractors. So we looked in and made a decision to move the boat to Green Cove Springs Marina, which is 10 minutes from the house. So this video was about us getting the boat ready and getting it here and checking it out and just a whole, like, our boat is home. We had to chuck it the last leg of the journey, but we got her home. Beatrix is home, and we can't wait to start the repairs. And this video is also for not just our family and friends, but for those friends and those YouTubers out there that are making videos that we're sharing with and that we're talking to, spoon drifters, Sailing Zingaro, Mothership Adrift. You guys are really awesome sailing channels that follow a lot and communicate with you and talk to you, and I really appreciate that. So let's get on with the video. Honey, will you have anything to say? My beautiful wife Jessica is sitting right there beside me. This is our boat. This is Beatrix. She's named Edelweiss, and we're gonna rename her Beatrix, which means Voyager. We got the boat last year in Marion, Massachusetts, and we sailed her down the East Coast and then struck ground coming into the channel north of Savannah, and we had to get her towed in, and she's been keel pulled, mast pulled, so we can undergo structure. So we're going to move her down to a boat yard closer to the house. That'll let us work on her ourselves. So I'm down here today just prepping the deck, pulling the arch, bimini top and stuff like that, getting everything I can to get ready. So let's take a look at her. Yeah, it's on. You're doing it. You're filming. This is Jacob. That's my main man, Jake the Snake. We're here to check her out.
That's Daddy.
There's our prop, rope cutter. Prop's loud as hell. Definitely want to change that. And get a good side shot of it. A high water line. Huge headroom. Pretty cool. There's a picture of my sailboat. Great sailboat. Oh, that's the original rudder that came out. I didn't even notice that last time. Composite rudder. That's the rudder that snapped right off whenever we hit the ground. Teeter-tottered on the sandbar, the back end of the boat came down, the rudder hit, and that thing snapped right off. That's some structure behind the keel right there that's cracked. Don't look too bad now.
They turned the video on this. They turned the video on this day.
Yeah, it's on. You're doing it. You're filming. This is Jacob. That's my main man, Jake the Snake. We're here to check her out.
That's Daddy.
There's our prop, rope cutter.
This
Prop
is
loud as
open.
hell. Definitely want to change that.
There's a lot more.
There's the boat. No mast, no keel. Came up here to drop off the brand new rudder we got from Foam. Put it in the trailer for them so they have that. Bearings.
Every time I'm worried about this thing, it's slipped or anything else like it. So
Dang. Wow.
That's where they got it to drop. They were
I
like
know.
stabbing it and trying on it to get it to drop because it was.
Because it was bent or jammed up in there.
It was a epoxied in. That's where they did epoxy and they shoved it up in there and they put the bolts in so it would be watertight. Oh, it's watertight. This is epoxy. Yes, I am en route as we speak to go take possession and delivery of our boat, Beatrix. We had her shipped down from Georgia, where we had her pulled out whenever we ran aground coming into that channel, Hogsmeade, heading north to Savannah. And structural damage to the grid and the hull. Had her demast, took the mast off, took the keel off, the rudder got snapped off. I got a new rudder already. And we're having her put down here at Green Cove Springs Marina so that we could work on ourselves and hire our own people and get everything done at an affordable rate. And that way we make sure it gets done right too. It's not just slapping it in and saying it's all right. That way I can take a look at it every day. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I worked on deep sea fishing boats and worked on my boats and done a lot of fiberglass work and getting better at it every time I do it. It's gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of work. But this way we know we get it done right, get it back in the water, and then start all the upgrades. We got a couple years before the kids are far enough along in school and stuff to be traveling the world. So we're excited. I'm gonna see if I can catch them coming down off 295, get some video of it en route. That'd be pretty cool. There she is. Got down here before we did, already unloading her. There's the mast and the furler. Looks like that been bouncing all the way down the highway. It didn't fall off.
It looks weird without the sail.
Yeah, it does.
It's like a normal speedboat, but with cabins under it.
Oh no, they lose the keel. No, the keel's right there. Got her on there. So, are you excited? Quit walking toward me. Okay, y'all get out of the way. Are you excited the boat's here?
Our boat. Come to make sure we have everything on the boat from being shipped down from Savannah, Georgia.
Thanks for the ship.
Oh my god. I know, it doesn't even look like a sailboat. No steering, no arch, no mast.
Yeah, this is where the boom is. I took the boom off the deck and put it down in here. And here's one of the boxes that the boatyard said they put 2 boxes in our boat with our bilge pumps, which this 1500 bilge pump is not one of our bilge pumps. That was in the bilge. This is like maybe one of the bilge pumps that came out of one of the shower pans at the most. So there should be 2 boxes, they said, of bilge pumps, and I do not see another box at all. Here's another box, actually. Get it wise. Alright, there's one of the missing bilge pumps. That goes there. Still missing one. Not necessarily that 1500, might have been the other one. It might have had a lower powered one down there. I have to double check your videos because your video shows it.
Yeah.
Because one was like underneath the bilge and one wasn't. There's our wind instruments and our antenna off the top of the boat. Top of the mast. That's our throttle. Actually, I ordered the throttle linkage connectors because one little plastic grommet thing broke off that. So I went to the Hunter parts owner's parts website, and actually you can put in your make and model of your boat, and it comes up with all the parts that Hunter built your boat with and how to order them. Actually, cheaper in West Marina to order it from there for the same product, so that was surprising. I don't know why it's surprising, but it was. So they're sourcing the parts from other places other than just West Marina, which is a good thing. Let's see. What's that boat? She's been stripped her out. She's still in mint condition. That's where our batteries are gonna go. Oh, look in there, Jess. It almost looks like there's screw holes for that seat that goes here. Was that seat permanently attached, or did we move it?
No, it has you have to do the wing nuts. And
Oh, it was attached?
wing nuts.
Oh, that's right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you can access that handle.
Oh, that makes sense without having to pick the whole thing up with it sitting on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I remember I couldn't find the batteries when I first got on the boat. Because we didn't know that thing moved, and we're like, where are the batteries on this boat?
Yeah.
Finally found them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep all this closed for right now until we move the boat and get to the work yard to work on it, because there's no, that just makes it a pain in the butt to try to walk around in here.
Oh yeah.
And these were on sale last night.
Oh yeah.
And I bought 2 more of those in the ropes for them.
We need more.
We need a bunch of those. Yeah, we need like 8 of those.
Yeah. Permanently keep up there some.
Build some little
cubbies.
brackets and
little
container spots for them and stuff.
No.
I've seen where people put like a little bracket around the mast in the center right there, so they can keep them all in there, so you can grab them and pull them out. And then do the same thing in the back here, so they have their positions on the boat, which is really awesome.
Yeah, that's what we were running into. We were like with the little ones, we're like switching one side for the other side, and then all of a sudden they're supposed to go into this side. They're like, oh wait, no, turn your boat around.
Yeah, so
all right,
one of
switch
them
back
on
over
both
to the other
sides.
side.
Have them accessible for both sides. Inverter converter, but all the heavy wires coming from the.
Well, can't you just put venting systems, like a venting plate?
Yeah, but also, well, the next part of this conversation is I want to do the water maker right here. So the water maker, a water system and an electronic system, I don't really think should be in the same spot. Because if the water system like explodes under high pressure, 600 psi, 850 psi to make that water maker work. So we don't want 800 pounds of pressure spraying water onto our $2,000 system that we depend on. So
you deflated the dinghy, right?
yeah.
Okay, that's what I was like. I was just thinking about like, where's the dinghy at?
It's in the trailer right now.
Okay, yeah, I haven't opened the trailer up. I was kind of afraid to open it up. I figured if I open the door, it would go poosh, and it'll explode out.
Yeah, so replacing this monitor, this inverter with the other one, it's kind of like that's the biggest thing about where to place that, because the batteries are going to be here, and we got all the wires coming in from the shore power and everything run all the way here already.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can put it inside your engine bay if you have a blower, which we do have a blower for ventilation, which is, you can do that, which routing it to there instead of there gets it up above the water line too, in case we do have a road wave comes in and splashes and the whole bottom of here gets filled with water until it can drain into the bilge. So this is kind of like a higher up, safer, drier spot for electronics that we're going to depend on in the world. Or placing it like right here maybe even. But then I'll have to rerun those big wires, which is no big deal really if I'm running all the wires already. But a rotatable arm here, so you can have a secondary chart plotter, so where you can just turn it, and like either you're over here watching TV, or we're over here at the galley. Yeah. Or, you know, we can see it from everywhere in the boat, versus right now you can't see shit. I don't know if we want to. And see, this is kind of like a good place for the solar plate thingy majigger.
Oh, I hate that thing.
That's what I was fixing to say.
I
That's so
hate,
awesome.
I hate that thing.
I just completely get rid of that fucking
I had to
thing.
use your cups to like brace it so it wouldn't slide back and forth. I mean, it's whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's I guess a good store dishes because we were able to put our food and our canned goods there. But yeah, I
think
hate
it
that
looked
thing.
cool to sell the boat. Like to display the 100 cups, that was it.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. I gotta come up with something different, but I didn't like that.
I didn't come up with the whole. Here's your cup with the lid. Don't lose it.
No, that's
the only one you get. Or little like indestructible camping rubbery cups that they can smash and crash and crush and flatten. And
I know. I can't believe they broke most of the cups. I thought those boat ones were like kind of indestructible, but somehow our kids broke 4 of them and cracked them.
Ones?
Yeah, they cracked.
Well, the age though, that plastic's been sitting on this boat.
Oh yeah, with sun and
for 20 years. For 20 years.
I'm surprised they didn't break the plates and the bowls either. Of course, we broke some of the glass ones we bought, but that was because we didn't know where to store it.
Yeah, but think about it too, though. We got all that space can be for storage to where we.
Oh yeah.
Instead of just shoving shit up here, whether you like it like that, that's fine. You know, it's trial and error. We're figuring out what we like and what we don't like every day before we think about changing anything.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. That's the conclusion of our first video. Just want to give you kind of a chance to see just the inner workings of our relationship and who we are. And just with I know we rambled on a lot and everything like that, but that's who we are. You know, it's talking about what's going on, how we're going to do it, and what's going to happen next. So thank you. Stay tuned for the next one. Get a little more depth and show more about the damage that happened to the boat and stuff like that. If you've ever seen any of the Expedition Evans videos on YouTube, and it's something similar, but not nowhere near as major damage as theirs, but it's similar. All right, thank you.